أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم أما يتساءلون عن النبأ العظيم الذي هم فيه مختلفون كلا سيعلمون ثم كلا سيعلمون ألم نجعل الأرض مهادا والجبال أوتادا وخلقناكم أزواجا وجعلنا نومكم سباتا وجعلنا الليل لباسا صدق الله العلي العظيم. 9th class lecture number 11. Important session, because I am going to tell you how the animals are classified in a step by step, exactly the reasoning you studied in the last lecture, in which I told you what was the basic reason, and I also told you two terminologies of the classification. I am repeating: systemic and the taxonomy. Systemic, you are watching. The classification which is based upon evolution, that is the systemic classification. What is the evolution? Each animal and plant develop some changes with the passage of the time, as the habitat change, as the external surrounding change, as the feed change, as the diet change. All animals and the plants develop some modifications, and these modifications are good, they are not bad for that living thing. Reason, just want to regulate the body according to the surrounding. It means even I will tell you one thing and you will be able to understand in a better way. Cell, unit of body. You know, we consist of many cells. I am not talking about all cells. I am talking about one cell. One cell also modified with the passage of time according to structure, according to function. I prove you. Your nervous system consists of very long size cell, neuron. Why very long cells are present in the neuron? Reason, because they want to conduct a message. They want to conduct the message. I will tell you, nephron, a very developed specialized cell in the kidney. Why it is present in the kidney? Because it just want to remove the urea from the body. When it will remove the urea from the body, so definitely it is very different. It is a very different cell. So different specialized cells are present. So cells also change their structure according to function. Animals and the plants also change their function and structure according to the surrounding, which is the evolution. So today I will tell you the reasoning I was explaining. I will more highlight two reasons that the animals and the plants are being classified. You will able to understand now. Look here, to determine the similarities and the differences between the individuals, and the second one is the evolutionary relationship. So these two reasons are mentioned, and these are main two reasons why the animals and the plants are classified. So what is the basis of the classification? What is the aim of classification? What is the objective of the classification? You are able to study the differences and the similarities between the organisms, between the living things, between the plants, and you are able to study them properly. Similarly, you are study how they are evolved. Your question from your side, sir, 100 years back, 500 years back, we are studying this evolutionary relationship. What is the benefit of the study of evolutionary relationship in the current life? We are in 2020, and if we will study the 500 years back human being, what is the benefit of that? When you will study evolutionary history of animal, you are able to classify. You know, frog, toads, and crocodile, they were in amphibia and the reptilia. Reason, what was the reason? Their common ancestor was same, mean their parents, their grandfathers, when you will go back many years back, they are same. They evolved from the same species. That's why it is called the biodiversity. Biodiversity means these animals were in the same group in the past years. As the habitat changed, Darwin visited many Galapagos Island, and you will study in the senior classes, when after visiting many areas, he found with these animals who are living in the closer geographical areas, they are similar. They are similar in character, but they belong to different species. Why they belong to different species? The reason is that because they were same in the past. after the habitat change, after their migration, yeah, after their weather change, they became different from each other and they are classified into separate species. This is the evolution. Evolution makes the new species. The very important information. Evolution makes the new species. We go back to classification. What is the classification? Classification, actually, the word, first of all, you have to understand the taxonomic hierarchy. Taxonomic hierarchy, HIERARCHY. The details about the systemic, you got the idea. Systemic is based on the evolution. These are my details. You can ask any question to me, but go back to other things. Lecture number 11. I just want to tell you taxonomic hierarchy now. Are you here now? Because I want your attention. Taxonomic hierarchy. You know, if you will recall my previous lecture and you will understand, I didn't tell you that species only the unit of the classification. You just recall my sentences. I told you that species we are giving importance. Reason is that because the species are smallest unit of classification and animals and the plants are named on the basis of the species. Just like your father name is added in the, most of the people have father name in the last and they are identified by that name, that this man belongs to that family. Similarly, species is the identification of the animal and the plant. Whatever the exact name is, when you will name the species, he or she will be automatically identified. So this is the identification of name species. That's why never also I told you in the last session that species is not the only unit of classification. Species is not the only part of the unit of classification is only species, but not species only part of classification. There are many parts. I tell you, order, family, species is the one, order is the one, family is the one. I will give you. Okay, we start from the lower one. The lowest unit of classification is species. Step by step, human being classification also depend upon this. So it means you have many names. We have many names. We have phylum Chordata, we have class Mammalia, we have the order, we have the family, we have the order primates, we have the family, we have the genus Homo, we have a species Sapien. Human being have many names. We have many names. So therefore, if anybody is calling you, calling you phylum name also, class name also, order name also, family name also, genus name also, species name also, you will be angry. You will say, oh boy, I have one name. Why you are naming 7 names together? Therefore, the Carolus Linnaeus was the scientist. He solved this issue, and he just classified last 2 subunits of classification in the names. You understand? If you will name any living thing biologically, you will name only genus and you will name only species. So these will be the 2 names. You will name the genus, and you will name the species. Homo sapien is the name of the human body. Homo, genus, sapien, species. So 2 names will be given importance. That's why I was giving importance to the species. That's why species is the smallest unit of classification, and we were giving importance to species, because species basically contribute to the name of the living thing. Genus also contribute, but because species is more important, because species is the smallest unit of the classification. What was the definition of the species I told you in the last sessions? Yes, the animals who can interbreed, who can fertilize, and they can produce. They can produce the offsprings like parents. Another condition I am adding. I gave you only 2 conditions. One condition, they can interbreed. Second condition, they produce the offspring. The third condition, this is very important. I did not tell you early. They produce fertile offspring. What is the meaning of the fertile offspring? Fertile offspring is the offspring which can be produced further. It means the lion is a one species. If lions can interbreed with each other and they can produce the offspring, offsprings mean kid, and kids can also fertilize and they can also produce the gametes, and they can also interbreed and they can also produce the new species, new animals, new kids, new offspring, and they will be also fertile. So I use the word fertile, fertile. One word I will use, another one I will use, that is the sterile, sterile, sterile. What are the sterile animals? The animals who cannot reproduce. The animals who cannot reproduce. I am here. I have to explain these all terms. Okay, ji? You are watching. This is a taxonomic hierarchy. What is the hierarchy? Taxonomic hierarchy. Step by step the classification. We are moving up step by step from the lowest unit of classification to the highest unit of the classification. Lowest unit of classification species. But I have to explain the sterile term. The sterile, S-T-E-R-I-L-E. R-I-L-E. Right? Sterile. Sterile. So sterile is the terminology which I have to explain. The animals which cannot reproduce are called the sterile animals. So two terms: the animals who can reproduce and they can produce, they can reproduce, those are fertile. It means in the species, the animals, the condition, one condition of the species, fertile offspring. Fertile offspring, yes, this is the species identified. Sterile offspring which cannot reproduce. If they are unable to reproduce, it means, what does this mean? This is not a species. This is not a species. It means lion kid is like a lion. This is not the guarantee that they will belong to same species. Guarantee is that they will be able to reproduce. They will be able to reproduce further. Means they must be fertile. That is the condition. If they are unable to reproduce further, if they are unable to reproduce further, never mean that they belong to same species. So taxonomic hierarchy, we divide the animals and the plants step by step into many units. Some are small units, some are the large units. Smallest unit species, second smallest unit genus, second smallest unit is the genus, smallest is the species, and then come family, then come order, then come class, then come phylum. This is largest and this is smallest. These all steps of classification, these all taxons of the classification. The word I have used, a taxon, spelling of taxon, T-A-X-O-N-S. What is the definition of the taxons? The definition of the taxon: all classification units are called collectively taxons. Some are smallest species is the smallest taxon. Some are largest. Phylum is the largest. Phylum is the largest. Phylum is the largest. Smallest taxon species, second smallest genus, then come family, then come order, then come class, then come phylum. Difficult to remember, I know that. How you will remember? I will make one formula. You will be able to understand, because we have to make some things in the mind, so that when these things come in the paper, you will be able to write. I will speak some sentences. In the last years, PCO judges were there in the President Musharraf. You did not know. I will tell you. Some judges which were not taking oath from the President Musharraf as a general, army general, so they were called as they took oath. They took oath from the President Musharraf, and these judges were the PCO judges. They were called as PCO judges. Okay, ji. So PCO, you will remember the judges which took oath from the. This is also general knowledge also, that from President Musharraf. Okay, ji. General Chief of Army Staff. Okay, ji. PCO judges. Federal government staff. Federal government. Okay, ji. Federal government stops. You can make any other one else also. Stop appointment of which judges? The PCO judges. Amazing. It has been burned. PCO. Phylum class order. PCO judges. FG federal government. And species. This is a very smallest unit. It means that PCO, FG, PCO, FT, PCO judges, you will remember 3 terms. PCO, last PCO, why I am telling you? Because it goes from the largest unit, largest taxon, and goes to smallest taxon, because order sequence is very important in taxonomic hierarchy. If you will not speak in the sequence, your all classification, I will classify humans, I will classify Brassica, maybe I classify Rosa Indica, that is not in your book, so I can classify many animals, but I will classify only those animals which are in your textbook. So we will start from the largest taxon and we will go to smallest taxon. This is the smallest taxon. So many species. Okay, now this is question mark. You will be able to understand this information by this way. Many species, you have to note this thing, you have to note these sentences. You will be able that why there was need to form many taxons. Many species combined to form genus. You are getting me? Because species are small, now genus are small. Many genus combined to form the family. It means family is large, genus is small. Now order is large and family is small. Many family will combine to form the order. It means order is small, class is large. Many orders combine to form the class. Okay, classes are small and phylum is large. It means many classes combine to form the largest classification, phylum. That's why the phylum is the largest group of classification. So we classify the animals and the plants by taking various units of classification. Smallest unit is species, second smallest is a genus, then family, then order, then class, phylum. Now question is, which two taxons are important? I already told you, genus and species. Why genus and species are important? Reason. You are recalling. Yes, I told you I am going to repeat each information in the future as well. Even I will be in next chapter, I will repeat this one. You know, I was repeating in the classroom as well. Species and the genus are integral part of the classification. I am finishing today's lecture with the key point. What is the key point of today's session? Species and the genus, they are integral part of the classification. The smallest unit of classification, species. The second smallest unit of classification, the genus. Why they are important? Because they are used in naming animals and plants. Your name, whatever your name is, your biological name depends upon genus and the species. So genus and the species will name animals and plants. So the process, the nomenclature which will tell how the animals are named, how the plants are named, those nomenclature is called binomial nomenclature. Binomial nomenclature. So students, this term, I will finish today's session with this term, the binomial nomenclature. What is the binomial nomenclature? The animals and the plants are named on the basis of genus and species. Yes, you want example? I am going to give the example. Homo sapien, human being, biological name. What is your biological name, scientific name? Homo sapien. Sir, why two name? Why not one name? I told you already. According to binomial nomenclature, you have to use two names, the genus and the species. The binomial nomenclature. I will keep telling these points of integral points of the binomial nomenclature in the next sessions. Thank you very much. Allah Hafiz.